So, uh, last we left off, the party had been doing a good deal of investigation around the town, talking to the leadership that they could come across, and investigating the one person they found that managed to escape and survive from the Guard of Olus. Beyond that, been plenty of walking around and ears of the city.
Which I now know is a touch spell.
Yes. It's an interesting thing to learn. But, you can force your questions onto somebody else now. Alrighty. So, what shall you all do now?
We are in Mamada. We
Yes.
just got out of the cathedral or church, right? Temple?
Yes, you had a meeting with Drusilla.
Who gave Cattell a bangle.
Yes. And 50 platinum.
In the bangle.
Oh, yeah. It was just... It wasn't locked away or anything. It was just there.
Okay.
So, I mean... you guys are at least 100 gold richer each.
That is up to Cattell. She wants to share that.
Yeah, Cattell could just keep that to herself.
Learned a little bit about inevitables.
Ah, yes. The pinnacle inevitable named Ermafal. Someone who is frequently worshipped in Helveski. Basically, god of programming.
Yeah, we did decide it was the god of programming, huh?
Yes, the god of... it's all correct, why doesn't it work? Please, for the love of God, start working.
I would have split the money out, so yeah, everyone make sure they account for that.
Yes, so 125 each, or 100 each and 100 in the party funds?
I don't know, what do you guys prefer?
I mean, I don't mind doing 100 each and 100 in the party funds.
Okie dokie.
All right. Works for me.
Alright. And Drusilla did give you her blessing to use the adamantine forges in town, but they are all privately owned, so getting them might be a bit more difficult.
Should we go track down the nearest forge then?
We can and see how long it's going to take for them to make the weapons and ammunition that we desire. There's still one more place we wanted to go anyway. We wanted to go to Clarington and sort of see what their perspective on everything is before we went back to the mines. So maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to see if we could maybe create an order, drop everything off, and come back for it, depending on how long it takes.
It's about half-day travel between each of the different locations. And you guys are... Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They're all really close.
Yes. So, it is about noon here. So, it'd be difficult to go there and back if you want to do that, but looking around, you could probably do things here, ideally, and then head off before nightfall. Alrighty. Oh, and NVIDIA did want to look around for Thaddeus Cadwell as well.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me.
Not a problem. It's been a week. People forget things. It's not a big deal.
All right. Did Drusilla happen to mention? Look at that. Did Drusilla happen to mention where Thaddeus was?
No, she did not. Although you did talk to somebody else, and he was unable to provide you any real information either. Other than he's not a hunter, but he was looking for a mark.
I am going to put a hand on Lynn's shoulder. And I'm going to say, do you want to try helping me find Thaddeus?
I knew that's.
And then I'll cast Ears of the City on Lynn.
And I will do my animal focus for whichever one does the thing.
Yep. Alrighty. And so you cast Ears of the City. Lynn, it's a strange experience for you. You hear all different kinds of conversations from people across time, even. So many overlapping voices that anything is difficult to pick out individually. But you may try and decipher and ask a question of your choice.
Well, I'm just going to be direct. Where is Thaddeus?
Alrighty. You hear word about Thaddeus traveling all over the town. He has apparently been numerous places. Though currently, you hear that he has taken another excursion off in the direction of Olus. The words, the open purse, keep being repeated.
What is the open purse?
Alrighty, go for a roll.
Alright, I have to roll a thing.
Yes.
You can do persuasion or diplomacy, right? So whatever.
Yes, it is perception or diplomacy.
Oh, sorry. Persuasion.
Yeah. 5E's getting to you.
It was the PER. That's the one.
Alrighty. You listen in about this, and it is very easy to determine. Some people have originally mistaken it to be a bank, but that swiftly changes. The open purse is, without a doubt, a brothel.
We kind of had a feeling, but
Yeah.
Did we have any other questions?
Is there anything else maybe we wanted to check for in town, since it's not limited to the other two questions?
I'm scanning through my notes. I have some of them. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. I mean, I could always cast it again if necessary, so don't feel the need to, force a question if it's not going to help. So he's back in Olus. We can go to Clarington instead.
Well, does anyone else in the party have any questions they'd like answered? Officer Cattell?
I'm good.
Alrighty.
I guess I do have one more, which would just be where the forges are in this city.
Alrighty. Give me the perception check. Alright. You get directed to several different businesses which are capable of melting adamantium. There are 3 of them in the town. Each of them is privately owned. Let's see what I've got written down here. Not that one. Alright. Alright. We have the Spell Sniper Initiative Co. That name is relevant for knowledge local checks if anyone wants to. We have the Rowley Mamada Emporium. God. And we have the Carton Continuum.
Those were the 3 adamantine forges, sorry.
Yes, those ones have adamantine forges. Well, they have a way to melt them down and repurpose it, at the very minimum.
Okay. Maybe you can ask which one is less busy or is the quickest right now.
Okay, I can ask that.
Alrighty. Yeah, you can ask that question. What
Right,
is
well,
Lynn's
sorry.
diplomacy? Yeah, you're all good.
It's 12, so I get a little bit higher with perception.
No, that's fair. Just curious. Alrighty. A lot of... That's 331s. Alrighty.
We're consistent, if anything.
Exactly. Maybe consistently good or bad, but it's consistent one way or the other. Currently, the Carton Continuum is the least busy, as one of its main members is currently missing. They were in the mines when the Gnoll attack happened, and they have not been seen since.
I get the feeling that that means that even if they're less busy, they're going to be slower.
The Spell Sniper Initiative rarely takes in anyone else doing work, anyone else's jobs. So they are currently very slow, to say the least. No one is. They have their own business that they normally go through, rather than dealing with anyone else in town.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the Emporium seems like the one that would be a middle ground, at least. They take it. They deal with the common folk in general, and they don't have any missing persons that are major players in their business, at the least.
What do you all think? I don't know forges too well, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Heh.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm a little sorry.
Alright. I should be less distracted now. I apologize for being distracted.
No, you're all good. Don't worry about it. You have work things. You're welcome.
I saw that like 4 times today.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Nice. Memes are an important part of daily life, you see.
I think maybe the Emporium might be good to actually get work done, but at the same time I also want to learn more about the person who's missing. Because, I mean, it might be... Oh, never mind. It might be good to learn more about that. That's all.
I mean, not to say that I don't want to help people who are missing, but if they're just missing due to, being captured in a mine by gnolls. Because you said they were missing because they were in the mine, right?
Yes, they were in the mine when the attack happened, and they have not been seen since.
Yeah, but if we go and touch base with them and say that we're going to help find the missing person, and then we help find the missing person while we're doing a job that we're already doing, they might
Maybe
be
they'll
appreciative.
expedite the order too. If we're like, hey, this order is to help out, the mine. That's actually a good point. Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
Alrighty. Everyone else happy with that decision?
Yep.
Alrighty. Yes. You used Ears of the City, so you do know where it is. But you will, if you will go there now, you will have to recast Ears of the City later on. Unless there's any last minute questions you would like to ask.
Was this my second casting of Ears of the City? I may have not adjusted this from the day prior.
I believe you cast it to get information on the city in general last time, but I'm not 100%
Yeah.
certain.
I did it when we got into the city. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Okay.
Alright, you head off over to the Continuum. And it doesn't take you too long to find it with Lynn's guidance. Eventually you go through a few back alleys and come over at a smaller building than you were expecting. The door seems quite low to the ground. The business is currently closed up. It doesn't seem like there's too much life going on in there, but who knows?
Well, I mean, might as well knock and see if they'll answer.
Alright, you have to lean down ever so slightly to just knock on the top of the door. And after you do so, I think you hear something inside. There is what appears to be some kind of commotion going on. And then you hear a distinct thud as something crashes into the other side of the door, but it remains unmoved. You're not hearing any other noise currently.
I guess I'll just say rather loudly, is everybody okay in there?
That's all you hear.
Oh, okay.
Should we go in?
Probably should. Is the door unlocked?
You haven't tried that yet.
I'm gonna try to see if the door is unlocked.
Alrighty. You go ahead and try and open the door. And it is indeed locked.
I'm just shrug and knock louder and just I'll practically yell, is everything okay in there?
The sounds begin anew. And you think you hear a distinct click from the other side of the door.
Like the sound of, like, what kind of click? Because the door's already locked, so it's not.
Sounds like it could have been the lock on the door.
Well,
Like they-
Kel is gonna go inside, or attempt to.
Alrighty. You go ahead and try and open the door, and indeed, it seems to be unlocked now. You open it up, and at the door is a gnome lying face down, staring into the floor. Beside him, there seems to be a spilled over mug, liquid pouring out and around the area. He literally looks up at you. And then proceeds to put his face back into the ground.
Cattell will like start to awkwardly like, do I touch him? Like, am I allowed to just okay? And then she's like just gonna lightly put her hands on him and try to like lift him up a bit.
Oh goodness. Hello there. How are
Does-
you doing?
Does he smell like alcohol?
Oh, very much so.
I think he is inebriated. We should sober him up, I guess. This doesn't seem like a good state to be in.
It is fine. Why is not? What can I do for you? Fine people to say.
We were coming in to check on you. We heard that one of your partners had gone missing, and we've been looking into the situation at the mines. We were gonna come in and ask some questions. Are you okay?
Oh, my dear brother, he's gone missing. The family business is my name. I hate it. Why, brother? Why? Ah.
Cattell will just like take him over to like a chair, just sit him down and start searching for like food, some sort of substance that he could eat.
There are so many different forms of sweets around this place that look to be half-eaten. There's also half-empty mugs of ale just sitting around the area.
Whatever looks the hardiest, I guess.
Well, you say hardiest, do you mean the ale or?
No. The food.
Oh, good. Yes, you find there's a couple bits of bread. They look a bit stale, but they'll be the best at soaking it up, you guess.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Just place that into his hand.
Oh, extra crunchy. He just kind of half-heartedly starts chewing on the side of it.
Athos, you wouldn't happen to know any spells that would be able to sober our friend up here, would you?
I could try a lesser restoration.
I mean, if you're willing to, I would appreciate it.
All right,
Maybe you could actually
give
be
me
able to help
15 minutes,
him.
and I will prepare that in the meantime, and cast on him when ready.
Alrighty. Well, you have 15 minutes if you want to try and do any amount of discussion in advance.
Maybe just make him comfortable, you know? So when he sobers up, he's not immediately terrified by us. Like, can we put on some tea or something like that?
You could attempt to do so, but navigating this place looks like it'll be a nightmare. Cattell could manage to find the food around the place because it's just kind of strewn about. But this place is a mess. While it may have once been a completely reasonable forge working area, right now it is covered in strewn about notes, cogs, and bits of metal.
What is your name, sir?
Oh, Jamses. Jamses Cotton at the service, madame. He pulls on the top of his hair and tips it forward as if it was some kind of hat, but just kind of ends out straining against himself.
Hello. She looks at everyone else like, I didn't get his name at all. I am Julia. This is the rest of my companions here. We we're looking for forge work, but that does not seem to be a viable option at the moment.
Oh, tragically not. All the men have gone home. I don't know what to tell them. So, they've taken their leave, as appropriate. And soon, they'll run out. Then I'll have to get back to managing everything. I don't suppose you're particularly talented about managing workers, perhaps?
No.
I don't know if any of us are have skill in administration.
Oh, my woes ever continue.
You must depend a lot on your brother to sort of focus on that aspect of the business.
Oh, yes. He does such good work. I get to stay out of his way and do what I want. I missed it. Oh,
What do you do,
missed it.
if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I do all sorts of things. This and that. You can see some of my finest work over there. He's just kind of pointing around the room and just waving his hand in the direction of different strewn about notes, papers. You have no idea what he's indicating to at all.
I was gonna say, is there anything hung up? But yeah, okay. Well, first off, our friend here is working on a way to sober you up a little bit, and then we may be able to help with your brother's situation. That's why we came.
You do that for me. Oh, beautiful and kind. Oh my, such a wonderful pairing.
With that said, we're gonna need some help. Do you think you can help us out?
I might. Though I don't wish
this may
to
be
have anything done to sober me up. It's all that keeps the pain away, you see.
I'm not a therapist, but I imagine it's not helpful. Well, here's the thing. You are really good at making things, right? I hope. Please, fingers crossed.
Oh, yes. Quite talented.
Well, we are going to go back to the mines and try to save everyone who may still be in there, or at least find out what happened to them. But first, we were hoping that you could help us make some weapons to take out the enemies that will be waiting for us there.
Oh.
Would that be something you can help us with?
I do. Perhaps. I could do so, but someone would need to do the shoveling and pulling and the heavy lifting. Yes.
As he says heavy lifting, NVIDIA just looks to anybody else.
I suppose I could do that.
We have adamantium.
Oh.
Would it be possible that you could create some weapons to our specification and ammunition using the adamantium that we have? Yeah, in order to make some weapons. Would that be possible? And how long would that take?
by myself quite a time, unfortunately, depending on the work. A small thing I could do quickly, but if you want weapons, well, that could take a bit. You see, shaping the adamantine is a difficult task.
Well, theoretically, how long would it take to create a glaive, a scythe, arrows, and bolts?
Oh, but pass me some working materials, if you would.
Like a pen and paper?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
I think that's what he's indicating.
Alright. Okay. Well, I'll grab any pen and paper that I can find.
Yes. You find a quill, inkwell, and that isn't spilt over, and a bit of papyrus. Bring them over. And he begins, not even looking at the paper, just scribbling over the page. It looks completely intelligible. You don't know what the hell he's writing there. He looks down at it very briefly. Oh. Well, with a bit of assistance, I could do the bolts, well, the tips, the arrows, whatever you wish, in perhaps just a single day. The scythe and hafted weapons like such, I would say, at least 3-4 days.
So it would take approximately a week and a half in order to get everything taken care of.
That sounds about right, yes, yeah.
That's by yourself. You said that there were other workers that you used to work with?
He seems to have completely fallen asleep on you.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, we're gonna help him regardless by at least finding out what happened to his brother, but...
Well, I imagine we have lots of things to settle in this town anyways.
Do we?
I mean, regardless, if we wanted to go to other towns, that is time that we could spend traveling while he does some work.
Mm. Well, maybe we ask him to prioritize the bolts and the arrows. We travel to Clarenton, and then maybe back to Olus. See if we can track down Thaddeus, and then come up with a plan of action for the mine. How does that sound for everybody?
Seems good to me.
Works for me.
Okay. Athos, let us know when you're ready for the spell, and hopefully it will work on this guy.
Of course. And I will cast it.
Alrighty. You cast the spell, and while he's asleep, he does not try and resist the effects of Lesser Restoration. He seemed to be a bit ill and clearly unfocused before. He seems to look at least a little bit better. But he's still asleep.
Okay. Well, do we let him sleep and then just hang out until he wakes up? Or is that creepy?
Maybe give him a little nap before we wake him up.
Okay.
If he takes too long.
Alright, yeah. I mean, I guess while he's just asleep, NVIDIA will look around for any notes on the business and stuff like that just to see how they were doing.
Alright, if you want, you can have a look around for that.
Perception?
Yes, please. Alright. You snoop around the business for a bit, have a look at whatever's just lying out here. What you can immediately see are some things which are written in a language you cannot understand, while it appears some work orders are being handled in Tencruz. You pick one of the ones you can't read up, and it's just very strange to look at. The writing is very small, and it seems to be done with something similar to Sylvan, but not exactly the same.
Okay. Using my knowledge of Sylvan, is there any way I could suss out some meanings?
Give me a linguistics check. You aren't too sure about any of this, really. There are some familiar symbols, but combined together they would just make gibberish.
Got it. Okay, I'll hand that to Catal then and be like, hey, Catal, have you ever seen this language before?
Wait, what language is it? It's not Sylvan?
It is not Sylvan, but it looks somewhat similar. And no, Catal, you do not know what language this is. But if you want, you can hazard a guess.
Do you think it's important that we read this? Because she pulls out an extract. I could read it if I wanted to. I just don't want to waste this if you don't think it's important.
Honestly, I don't know how important it is. It may not be.
Well, without using an extract, I'm going to try to guess what the language is.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm assuming linguistics?
Yep. Alright, much better. This is definitely Gnomish.
Gnomish.
Get into them racial languages.
Yeah. It definitely borrows a bit from Sylvan, but has been very much identified its own language for quite a while. I mean, you could always just steal the paper and use it later if you don't use the extract, you know. Nothing wrong with a bit of corporate espionage.
Well, we're not gonna harm Dome's business just because we want to know what a note says. Well, I guess, how long are y'all willing to wait around, or do we want to check out another forge?
Well, there was one more thing I wanted to ask him for.
Okay.
But I don't want to bother him.
I mean, we're gonna help him find out what happened to his brother. I think it's okay if we bother him a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's gently wake him up.
Alrighty. You gently try and wake him up, and he stirs from his sleep. Well, oh. Well, hello again. Oh.
You doing okay there, buddy?
Oh, I'm quite fine, thank you. How long was I asleep for?
Well, we didn't. Maybe 30 minutes. However, I'd be honest with him. However long we let him sleep for.
Oh, good. Anyway, what were we talking about? I'm sorry. Seem to have forgotten.
We were here because we were going to be investigating the mines where we understand that your brother had gone missing, correct?
Oh, my dear brother. Oh, how I miss it.
Oh boy, not this again. Okay.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah, we might be able to find him. I know this is a weird question, but do you maybe have like an article of clothing of his or something that we could borrow? I have a companion out there. He's really good at tracking, and so I think that might help us find your brother.
Oh, that would be wonderful. You see, I've had to manage the business all on my own. It's been so hard. Such a cruel reality.
Just terrible.
I know. I'm glad you understand. He begins looking around him. Oh, just a moment. We keep our things elsewhere. He gets up and starts stumbling away.
Catel's gonna like look to the rest of everyone. Does it escape anyone else's notice that he's more concerned about having to do the work now that his brother is gone, rather than the fact that his brother is gone?
No.
Are you picking up on that?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Alright. He does come back about a minute or two later. He seems to be carrying as much as he could hold in various items of clothing. A few smaller bits of personal items like a watch, a spare ring, just whatever he could seem to find. You're pretty sure in amongst all that is some bed sheets as well. Oh, I hope this is enough. Please, take any of what you see fit with you.
Oh yes, this will definitely suffice. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite
And
right.
we'll just casually take the watch and the ring and any other trinkets, as well as the sheets. And maybe your shirt too. Gotta cover all her bases.
Gotta cover all the bases, yeah. Now, is there anything that I could help you all with?
Well, sorry.
I was gonna say that's it for me. That's all I need.
Well, we had been talking about having you make some weapons for us that may help us out against the monsters that we've found in there. We have some adamantium that we'd like forged into weapons. You told us it would take about a week and a half by yourself. But from my understanding... Huh?
Did I? Oh my. When did we meet before this?
Maybe we should just start over. We have some adamantium we'd like to make into weapons in order to help us take out the monsters within the mines, and therefore help you find and help out your brother potentially, or at least find out what happened to him. How long would it take for you to make? And I'll just basically repeat the conversation we had before.
Yeah. He goes ahead and gives you a completely different set of time.
Oh, okay.
He says it'll take about a week to do any of the individual weapons, but he can produce about 5 arrows or bolts in a single day.
All right. Can I sense motive to see which is the actual correct number?
You may do so.
And then while I'm doing a sense motive, I'm gonna get a vibe check off of him.
Alright. He radiates no aura.
Okay.
Oh, is the thing not ready? No. Sorry, 1 second. Yes. You're pretty sure the first one is definitely going to be the wrong answer. The second one should be right.
Okay, so it's gonna take him longer.
It's going to take him longer than what he was anticipating.
Oh, okay. Copy. If we theoretically were to get some of your workers back, how long would it take you?
Oh, I could cut the time in half easily enough with that.
So it was going to take, what, 3 weeks total to get them all done?
Yes.
So it would go back to a week and a half if we found his buddies.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay. Well, I see where we got the numbers from at the very least. Well, what do you all think? Do we try to find his friends? Because I get the feeling, especially with the Knolls, that we're on a bit of a time crunch here to save anybody who might be salvageable. We don't know what they're doing in there, or if they're going to start sacrificing innocents. So I don't know what we want to do. If we want to, take care of the problem and then just leave this and come back to it, or what it may be.
I think we should maybe look around and see how difficult it would be to get his workers back.
Okay. I didn't quite catch your name before. How do you say your name?
Oh, I am Jamzos Carton.
Could you spell that for me?
Yes. Jamzas.
Janzas. Okay. And then could you maybe give us the names and the homes of the people, or I guess the addresses of the people who you work with, and we can go find them for you?
Oh, they're on temporary leave until my brother returns. I forced it upon them.
Well, if you make these weapons for us, it would be easier for us to go find your brother, especially if it seems like they'd be willing to work.
I suppose. But, well, it might keep Drusilla happy as well. She's been ever so cruel.
Well, wouldn't it be a benefit to also potentially get in Drusilla's good graces?
Oh, I perhaps believe so, but we're not going to be working on golems and like, so she will not be too pleased. Perhaps even more mad that we're doing something else. Oh dear.
Well, we actually got Drusilla's blessing, and I'm going to point to the bangle that I hope that Catel's wearing, to actually work with some of the best adamantium workers in the city in order to help us build these weapons so that we can help solve the problem as well.
Oh,
I don't know if this is
how
diplomacy, but
wonderful.
I'd be willing to treat it like a bluff check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, how wonderful. Oh, it's been so long since I've had any decent work. The weapons, not my speciality, but and if they are happy to return and do not ask too many questions, that would be ideal. I don't want to have to manage them individually. It is such a taxing time and effort. I don't suppose any of you know how to manage workers.
Administration is not our forte.
I shall struggle through the hardship. You of course have the money to pay. I cannot work alone off of Drusilla's goodwill.
Of course. How much would it cost us for order to make this happen?
Oh, I would have to do some calculations. I shall do them while you seek out the rest of my workers, if that is acceptable.
Absolutely. That's okay with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okay. Well, if you want to give us that list, we'll go start rounding up the rest of your workers. And we will see you back in a little bit.
All right. He gives you the lists and names, or the list of names of several different workers for the area.
Okay.
Would you like to seek them out immediately, or would you prefer to be going elsewhere?
Well, once we leave the building, we're just gonna kind of look back and say, I think that we might want to try one of the other forges.
I think we might want to try one of the other forges.
I just
I think
wanted to
that's
say
a
that.
very. I almost feel bad even saying that we were going to look it out. He'll probably forget anyway. Yeah. Well, let's see. Spell Sniper was the super specialized one that was busy with the government jobs, right?
Not so much government. Anyone who wants to can give me a knowledge local check. Cattell, you have a slight bonus on this.
Oh, Cronus just knows everything.
Cronus does know everything, except about religion.
Well, that's where
Ironically.
it comes in, so it works out.
Exactly. Oh boy. Alrighty. Yes. Cronus knows a fair bit. Cattell, you know that they're a local thing, but you can't remember much else about them. Cronus can speak about. They are the gun workers of the area.
Ooh.
They are the group which specializes in melding magic and firearms together. It is a complicated faction. But we have seen some of their work in Utadria. It is rare for them to come through, however. Most simply peddle their wares. Many prefer to keep their firearms to themselves. The Spell Snipers are a relatively large faction in Helveski, but rarely go beyond the borders.
Okay. And then which is the place we're at? Was that the Emporium or the Compendium?
You guys are currently at the Continuum. It is the
Oh, Continuum.
Co. Smells Sniper Initiative Corporation, or Co.
And then the Emporium is the one that does everything else?
Yes.
Who don't seem to have a huge problem with staffing?
Supposedly not.
Okay, maybe we go there.
What time of day is it? Or would they still be open?
Oh yeah, it's only a bit after noon at this point.
Okay.
Although it took a bit for the gnome to ramble through his own things twice over, and a bit time for him to wake up. It didn't take too long.
Well, sorry for wasting a little bit of our time with that, everybody. Hopefully, the next place is a little bit more straightforward.
Alrighty. You head off over to the Emporium. And this building looks much more reasonable for you to enter into. Well, the other one kind of had to lean down to get inside. It was normal inwards. This is a much larger building. It looks to be something akin to a warehouse in size at the very minimum. Large, double open doors stand at the front, but it is currently closed.
The doors are closed, not the building isn't like, it doesn't say have a closed sign on.
No, it is, the door's just closed.
Okay. I don't know how to deal with businesses that close their doors. Should we just walk in or knock? That was a in character question to everybody.
Let's just go in.
Okay. Lead the way, Cattell.
Okay. I open the doors.
Alrighty. You push open one of the doors and enter inwards. As you do, you feel a great rush of heat, humid steam flowing over each of you. It is uncomfortable as you enter in, and you can see the grass behind you doesn't look too healthy after a closer examination. There's a thick scent of oil and other chemicals rich in the air here. As you enter in, a man approaches you. He's got dirt and a few bits of clockwork sticking out the sides of his apron. Greetings. How can I assist you today?
Am I taking this one?
If you'd like.
Sure. Good day, sir. We were wondering what your backlog is for jobs, and if we could get a quote for some weaponry that we would like crafted.
Right. Can have a quick look. We are quite busy. Lady Drusilla has gotten us to put much of our efforts towards new construction.
It's actually with that in mind that we come to you. We had a brief conversation with Lady Drusilla. We are going to be working on the mine problem as well, although from a different angle. She was just interested in trying a couple different things out. We were hoping that we could at least be maybe have something expedited. I know how busy you are, and we wouldn't want to impose too much, but we already have the resources assembled. It would just be a matter of, as you have time and in between things, maybe just forging a couple of hafted weapons along with some bolt and arrow ammunition with adamantium.
Well, might be able to handle that. Most of what we do here is sell different parts after manufacturing them and melting them down. So, if you would... we could have it affixed to something, I suppose, if need be.
I mean, that's what a hafted weapon is.
Yes, exactly.
Really, it's just it's a piece of metal affixed to a stick.
Well, yes. Depends if you want the stick to be made of adamantine as well. Though, that all being said, we are currently buying adamantine at a premium. If I got word of any of it, I'm sure the boss would tell me that we're looking at purchasing adamantine for the price of mithril, effectively. So about 500 per pound.
Or what, 12 pounds?
Yes.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Do we even need weapons? I feel like the money could be put to use better.
It helps with, how some of those automatons and whatnot had resistance to some of our attacks. It would help with that specifically. It's a very hard metal that is very good for weapons.
That's what this stuff is going into them for. If you're going to be going down there, there are going to be rogue constructs. I can guarantee you that everyone's working on what they can.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. That is, as much as we're going to be fighting the monsters that are inside, there's also going to be constructs that we have to be careful of. With that in mind, how long would it take for you to create the weapons?
Shape the way you want them? Good question. It'd have to be done in between other work. I'd have to have a look back there, but it could take a month easily. Probably a bit less than that.
If you were to say, put a time to it, would you say about 3 weeks?
Maybe. It all depends upon chance.
Got it.
We've got other outstanding workhorses that we need to get through as quickly as possible.
Well, what do y'all think?
Seems like a better choice than the other forge.
I definitely agree with that. Okay, 3 weeks-ish, and I understand that chance goes into it as well. How much would it cost us to do that as well?
Well, How much have you got?
It would be 2 hafted weapons, and a set of arrows and a set of bolts. So we have 12 pounds that we were able to set aside for the job.
Should be about enough. Leaves a little tiny bit of excess. Well, for that much, we could probably do the lot for about 3,000 gold. Expensive, I understand, but we have a lot of stuff we need to work through, and if time's something you care about, then that's how it's going to stand.
I think 3,000 is worth it based on how much it normally costs for adamantine weapons. But that is hefty. So I understand if maybe we don't want to go through with it. I think our 3 options are to sell it instead. And make money off of this because they do need the adamantium. Go through with it and come back for it in 3 weeks-ish. Or do nothing with it for now. Where does everybody stand on that?
I'm willing to wait a little bit. We will probably come back here at some point.
Like put in the order, give them the adamantine, and then come back later.
Yeah.
Okay. Katel? Sorry, Lynn?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get my bearings. My head was just in the oven.
You're all good.
Not like suicide head in the
That's
oven.
how
I mean, look, I know
bad
3,000 gold's a lot, but come on.
That would be a really awkward way to try.
Tax season's really weighing on me, guys.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting here in the corner
Thank
watching,
you
not
for that,
doing
Mel.
anything. Like, man, you're feeling it, aren't you, babe? I'm not gonna do anything to help, by the way.
No, of course not. Ridiculous.
You reminded me to pay my taxes today, though, so you know,
Nice.
good things happen.
Personally, I don't want to stay in the area too long. But I mean, there's an entire group of people, so I don't want to take charge of what we do. I'm willing to wait if we want to make weapons, but I am just as happy selling what we have at a premium and getting other different type of weapons that are more readily available.
If anything, just remember we don't have to stay put in. Even as we stay in the area, we don't have to stay put, so we can still be hard to track down. Going from city to city, sort of switching things up.
Pose.
My only thought is that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if we do put it in, the weapons may not be available for whatever rate we do on the mine. But that may be our own sort of reward that comes from it, like a little gift that we give to ourselves for succeeding, maybe. Assuming none of us die.
Well, if you're looking for some weapons and you want to deal with the constructs down there, I do have something on hand. Someone made an order for this when they were planning on going for an excursion deep down, but never came to pick them up. They apparently got busy elsewhere. So, up to you if you want it. He goes off and comes back with a case. Inside are 10 arrows, and you can quickly tell that the tips are made from adamantine.
Wow.
They were specially made in case someone wanted to golems or something else down there. Some researcher said there was something that they wanted to investigate and needed them.
Hey, woe to what happened to that researcher.
Oh,
How
they never
much?
turned up. I can't tell you.
That's okay.
They never went down there though, so they got lucky, I guess.
How much would it cost for these?
Well, they aren't just regular arrows. They're made from adamantine. They're construct bane. Someone else managed to get them enchanted and whatnot. So,
Oh, wow.
Each one. What were we looking at? Each one was worth about 150 gold each. Cheap enough considering what they are. But it's something that's left over.
Lynn, you would be the one to use them. If they're arrows, it's up to you.
If you're after bolts, we can probably fix them up so they can work like that as well. That won't take too long.
Or could tell them.
I am definitely interested.
Yeah.
Trying to determine the way that I want to pay for them.
Out of curiosity, while we look into our financial situation, how likely do you think these are to survive contact?
Well, as all magic weapons do, well, magic arrows, that'll be gone upon first contact. Striking anything that isn't made of adamantine, they'll be fine. Anything that does, pretty good chance they'll shatter on impact, as well as breaking whatever they impact into.
Mm-hmm. All right. So one-time use with these.
For the most part.
Okay. Just something to keep in mind. At the very least, I do think that we are going to put that order in while we're sort of deciding this. And if Patel and Lynn want to, I don't know if you want to get these arrows or not, but if we're down, how do we want to pay for the other 3,000 gold for everything else? I mean, we could like divide it by 4 and each pay 750, or we can reach into the party funds. Me and Athos could also pay a little bit of a heavier quantity as well, since we actually are the ones getting weapons out of it.
Yeah, I can do that.
How does our party fund look, if you don't mind me asking, Athos?
Pretty good. 93 platinum, 250 gold around. 2,500 gold, I mean.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, holy
Yeah.
crap! We went through that at some point. Okay. So let's see here. 3,000 divided by 4 would be 750. Here's an option. Maybe Athos, you and me, we pay.
We could maybe pay by pound.
That's
3,000
a
divided by 12.
yeah. That's not a bad idea. That's 250 per pound. So that'd be 1,000 for me and Athos, and then 500 for you and Cattell. I mean, that seems fair to me. Would that work for you, Athos? Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do have another request if possible, though. Could they be able to forge a no quill as well?
You saw Nokwal?
Yeah, that could be done. It's a different kind of material, but we've got all sorts of forges here. We handle a bunch of different work orders.
Well, by the by, might as well. Could you turn this 5 pounds of no quill to into a buckler?
Ooh.
Yeah, we can probably organize that, but you're going to be looking at the same kind of wait time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty.
How much would that be?
For Noqual with the materials on hand, you could probably do that for about another 1,000 gold. Just a bit of fair warning though. If you want to make that stuff enchanted, you're gonna have a hard time. That's gonna increase the price a lot and the workload as well. Needs to be specially treated upon creation if you want to have Noqual be able to handle getting magic put onto it. Spells and the like should be fine, but enchanting it later isn't going to be possible.
That should be fine.
Thanks for the warning.
Welcome. We do honest business here. Nothing more, nothing less. That being said, is there anything that you lot need?
So you are paying 500 gold for 1 pound of adamantine, right?
That'd be correct.
Okay.
It's almost double market price, but buy what we can while we can.
Okay, so I will take all 10 of those arrows, and then I'll also do 20 more that are not enchanted. And you can have the other pound of adamantine to help pay for that, as well as gold for the rest.
Alrighty. Now, are you going to let them fit any of them as bolts, or are you just going to take them all as arrows?
I was planning on taking them all unless Gatal really wanted them.
I don't need them.
Oh, good. I was just double checking.
I will hand over 1,000 gold and my 4 pounds of adamantium and give them the specifications of the glaive that I would like.
Alrighty. Is there any other special work that's being done with it, or is it just making it out of adamantine?
I don't. They said that they can't do much else, right?
Typically not. They're not actual weaponsmiths, but they have enough people that they can get by. You still have a well-made weapon, but enchantments are what you'll have to do on your own time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna throw any additional enchantments other than the +1.
That does not count for reference from ABP.
Okay.
So you can also apply that to the buckler Athos. It's just specifically like getting special enchantments like Glamored or whatnot. That won't work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything additional. Maybe this is gonna bite me in the butt later. But I'll be happy with just my glaive.
Alrighty. Well, he takes all of that down as a note and takes the payment offered and says that he'll let you know what he can do when he can do it. Where are you staying?
I'm actually just going to double check. Athos, do you have enough to pay for everything, or
Yep, I'm good.
for yourself? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, because if not, I mean, it's fine for you to dip into the party funds for protection for yourself.
Yeah, that's all right. Cost me 2,000, right?
Yes, because you're also getting the no quarrel buckler.
Yeah.
We are actually going to be going over to Clarenton. Like we were telling you, we're doing some investigations of our own into the mine before potentially dealing with it ourselves. So just we don't have a return address, is my point, I guess.
Alrighty. Come by here on a weekly or so basis and you can get updates, whatnot.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. What was your name, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, myself. Well, you're probably dealing with a bunch of other people here as well. But, I'm Oswald.
Oswald, are you like customer service manager, or?
I work the main floor for the most part.
Well, we appreciate your time, Oswald. Thank you for dealing with our sudden request to the best of your abilities.
Not a problem. I'm sure people will be happy to work on something that isn't just a golem. Or bits for them.
Well, we'll be checking in about a week or so.
Alright. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. All right. We have time if y'all want to go to Clarenton tonight, unless you wanted to grab an inn. I know Lynn's gone, but Athos can tell.
Actually, that's a good idea. I will also be right back.
Never mind. I'll be here by myself.
Alright, I'm back. So, what was the decision?
I think we may be still waiting on people.
Oh, all good. That's fine. And, cool. Oh.
Sorry, everyone.
You're fine. Alrighty. I hope people didn't mind the gnome earlier.
Oh, no, not at all.
That's good.
You can have characters that are kind of shitty, you know. That's just real life.
That is true. That is true. It's just... I just don't know how much is going to come through on the mic when I'm intentionally speaking softly and gibberish.
Oh. It just came through like he was blurring his words so bad that we couldn't understand him. So we're like, okay, well.
That was the intention. I just hope that it all did come through the mic.
Yeah, no, it came through.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure exactly as you intended.
No, glad to hear it. Now this will be interesting. Apparently for lunch we're doing cheap Domino's pizza because they've got like a big sale on right now. Indie chicken, what is it? Indie chicken tikka. So it's a tikka masala pizza.
That's from Domino's?
That's from Domino's.
Domino's getting wild over in Australia.
Yeah, it really does. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it for a while, but you know, I never want to waste money on it because it's, you know, it's I don't have much faith it's going to be good, but we'll see.
Worth a try.
Exactly. Gotta try everything once, no matter how regrettable it is.
I mean, tikka masala is good by itself.
Yeah, pizza's normally pretty good by itself. I don't know how it's going to be when you combine the two, but we'll find out. What other dumb things do we have on option? I think that's like the only really wild pizza we have at the moment.
I've actually heard a good bit about Australian style pizza recently.
The answer is pineapple.
Well, no, I heard pineapple, you know, that's normal.
Yeah.
I was hearing wild things. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hang on, let's see if I can find it now.
Yeah, you're good.
While we're just waiting on color.
Like some of the things that they have available at the moment is peri peri chicken, chicken and camembert, garlic prawn pizza.
The folks down under love some pizza topped with local specialties. Pizza lovers savor saltwater crocodile pizza in Sydney, a true Australian experience. Favored pizza toppings in Australia also include emu, kangaroo, salmon, dill, tiger prawns.
Yeah.
The Aussie pizza, its official name, is good for breakfast or lunch. The traditional Aussie pie features standard tomato sauce and mozzarella, normal. But the toppings are morning favorites, including bacon, ham, and egg. Barbecue sauce is often used in place of tomato sauce in pizza shops.
Oh yeah, we use barbecue sauce on like a bunch of different ones. But yeah, I haven't had emu before, but kangaroo is actually not too bad. Normally we have it in mince, but they're also pretty popular in sausages. It's a pretty tough meat, so it gets made up into the ground kinds of stuff instead.
Yeah, it's like venison.
Yeah. Crocodile is very tough meat. Like, I don't know how else to put that. It's just a very strong, very tough kind, chewy kind of thing.
Gamey.
Yeah, very gamey. Well, that's because no one farms crocodiles for eating them, realistically. It's not a great idea. That being said, dill, I mean, yeah, I guess. Tiger prawns, they're just like the prawn of choice, realistically. They're just really big prawns. Is there? I feel like that's all kind of standard, yeah. I don't know what you guys have on the pizza in America, other than the regular suspects.
Regular suspects.
Well, maybe there'd be something else.
I mean, y'all have deep dish pizza, right?
We don't actually. I have had deep dish pizza before.
Okay.
Oh no!
And
But,
it's cast as this deep dish.
It's a brick. It's just so
Wait.
heavy.
Actually, there's two different kinds of deep dish. There's Chicago style, and then the other shitty version that I don't even care about what the name is.
Yeah, I had Chicago style because I went to Chicago in my one trip to America, and I had deep dish from there, and it's so heavy.
It's so good. I
It's
love
such a
Miami
pie.
deep dish.
It's like eating a pizza cake.
According to Jon Stewart, in one of my favorite bits of all time, he calls it a casserole.
Yeah, that's kind of accurate. Yeah.
I love deep dish pizza quite a bit, and I will thank Cass for that. But Jon Stewart's thoughts on deep dish pizza always crack me up.
Nice. We have deep pan, and that's just like slightly thicker than usual pizza. That's about it.
Yeah. I've had deep dish pizza who claimed to be deep dish pizza, and it was basically just deep pan, yeah.
Yeah. Though I've never tried proper New Yorker style pizza.
Oh, Square Pie Guys was one that we had. That was interesting. That had some honey in it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was really good.
that is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other thing is like the amount of different crust stuffings that we do over here. It's strange, but I think that happens everywhere.
Yeah. You can get crazy with stuffs.
Exactly.
Stuffed crust.
Is there any examples of this? Let's have a look. See.
While we're waiting on Lynn, Athos Recool going on to Clarington.
I've been back for a while.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
we
Just listen to us talk about pizza.
I'm here as well.
Anybody else was, and I was like, oh, okay, everybody's silent. I'll just wait. I've just been sitting on Reddit.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I asked when I got back about the people's opinions, so then we just started talking about this in the meantime.
Well, you asked for opinions, except I didn't know what opinions you were looking for because I wasn't here. So I didn't have the context. I was like, what are people's opinions? And so I was like, okay, I'll wait and listen to everybody else so I can get context. And then
Then
turned into
pizza.
opinions on pizza.
All right.
Pineapple
You're
absolutely
welcome.
belongs on pizza.
I was gonna apologize earlier for slowing things down today. I didn't mean to slow down with pizza too.
It's fine. Not a big deal.
All right. Well, with all that solved, do we want to go to Clarington tonight? We have time, right?
Yeah, you'd have time to get over there. You'd be arriving in the night time, but you can get there.
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna be like fatigued. It's gonna be a late arrival.
Exactly.
Worked for me.
Sounds good.
Alright.
Maybe just get a hotel and then start our further investigation in the morning.
Okay. You guys head off to Clarenton. As you make your way out, you cross over what you can assume to be the relative border between the areas, as you start to come across a lot of farmland nearby the roads. Nearest farms are visible from the trail as you make your way to Clarenton. Various men, women toiling away in the farms tirelessly, plowing new fields with the aid of livestock and occasionally a clockwork steed, though they do seem to be heading back towards their homes as you get closer to the town. You can see a collection of buildings in the distance. The town ahead lacks any defined wall, and there's waves of tents and other temporary shelter marking its outskirts. There are towers of stone and wood dotted about the settlement, keen eyes watching over the town and setting sun. You can tell the architecture of this place is very old. The simple housing and haphazard planning of building placement speaks to its origins. There are a great deal of guards nervously wandering about patrolling the area. Some others seemingly exhausted from a long day of work. But you arrive in town without anyone stopping you on the way.
I am. Sorry. Do we want to maybe find a tavern for the evening?
Whatever's cheap.
All right, let's look for a cheap tavern.
Alrighty. You have a look around. Who would like to give me knowledge local or gather information?
Nvidia will sigh and put a hand on put a hand on Lynn and be like, "Do you mind?" Also, by the way, if you do mind, just let me know. I don't mind doing this. You just are a little bit better at this than I am.
I mean, are we just looking for somewhere to sleep, or are we wanting to do more?
The cool thing is, we can do both if we want. This is just a convenient, easy, quick way to go about it.
Okay, sure. I can do the thing.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So, Nvidia casts the spell, and Lynn, once again, your mind is overwhelmed by countless voices, this time many different, but still, it's uncomfortable. This cacophony steadily weakens, and you come back to your senses, ready to sort through and pass this information.
I guess first question would be, what are the inns around town?
Alrighty. The inns in town are the Fairview Cottages, the Canary's Last Chirp, and the Clarenson Inn.
Can I get any impression on those? Like, because I know that Cattell likes to look for cheap places. Or do I just get the names?
You get the vague information. The Canary's Last Chirp is a cheap inn. The Fairview cottages are probably middling in quality, but they are individual houses that are rented out temporarily. And the Clarenton Inn is a very old and expensive building.
Okay. I'm just scanning through my notes.
You're all good.
What was the name? Was it just like Lady Clarenton? Was that her name?
Yes. So
Claren
it was
Bold.
Lady Claren
Claren
Bold.
Bold. Okay. What are her plans for dealing with the gnolls?
Alright. Lady Clarenbold has drastically increased the number of guards in town. They have been employing miners to train and prepare themselves so they may go ahead and do battle with the gnolls directly.
Oh wow, they're planning a straight assault.
All right.
Yes, there are many people around town worried about what will come of this. But at least in the meantime, the increased number of guards will provide some level of defense.
I guess I'll kind of go over the same questions from before to see if it's any different than what we heard in the other cities. So why are the gnolls here?
Alrighty. Give me that check.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm not
You're
used to
okay.
being one asking questions.
The gnolls are a large point of contention in the town. From what you hear, they have been kidnapping and they've captured so many of the people of Clarenton, using them to serve as slave labor in the mines. Clarenton has definitely suffered the largest hit. They appeared within their own mining section and have captured many of their own. They don't know much about what the gnolls really want to do. All they know is that they are using them to mine.
Yeah, that kind of answers my next question. What is the relationship with Olis Lake?
Alrighty. Oh boy. The relationship between the two towns is pretty poor. While the relationship with Hamada is not so strained, Olus and Clarenton have two very different philosophies when it comes to how the town wishes to be run and how they manage their own businesses. Trade between the two is pretty strained at the best of times, and Lady Clarenbold has made no secret that she dislikes Lord Spencer.
Maybe is there a thought that Olus and Lord Spencer's behind that, and he was just playing dumb earlier?
Like he's behind the knolls?
Potentially. I mean, if he doesn't like Clarenton, and Clarenton took the biggest losses, and their people are the most enslaved and stuff, it wouldn't be surprising to learn that he had a hand in this.
I definitely don't disagree. Did anybody
I
have
am
any other questions?
Ashamed for not doing sense motive. What's going on with the tent city? Is that displaced miners or?
That is a question you could ask.
I will ask. Ooh,
Oh no, it's only a 19.
I rolled a 2.
Yeah, I understand that. Alright, so what you know about the tent city, you hear word from all different kinds of people in the area of town, and that, yes, indeed, it is displaced miners. But not just from Clarenton. No, instead it's basically anyone who was coming in for temporary work. It seems all of them have relocated over to here. It's a bit strange. A lot of the regular citizens are questioning why they would try and place such a burden upon themselves by all coming to a singular location rather than spreading out. But it seems to be numerous displaced miners and other temporary workers that came here and have taken up residence in the tent city just outside.
Okay. Maybe we ask why they all came here instead of going elsewhere.
That's better.
That is a lot better, yes. Alrighty. You try and figure out why they're all here. And the common speculation appears to be that Clarenton has the most farms and therefore access to the most food. The people are trying to effectively take shelter here in the hopes that they'll be able to spare their surplus. But others talk about being rejected from setting up similar situations outside of Mamada and Olus. Olus has little to offer anyone without significant coin. Alright, you have one last question for this casting.
Any requests?
I'm fine.
nothing here.
Okay.
Alrighty. With that, the spell ends. And Lynn, you have a little bit of a headache from all of this. You're not sure why NVIDIA does this so often. Alright, what shall you do from here?
Which of those tavern situations sounded the best?
I mean, honestly, I kind of love the idea of having a cottage to ourselves for once. But if you would rather save money, then we can go to the cheaper place.
I mean, it sounds like a better safe house than some of the other places we've stayed.
Yeah.
Cattell, Athos, are you okay going to the cottages? If it's prohibitively expensive, we can.
No, that's fine.
I suppose it's doable.
As long as you're okay with it.
Let's just go check it out then.
Alrighty. So, you'll head off and seek out the cottages. You can see there's what looks to be about half a dozen cottages nearby a larger building. It seems about 4 of the cottages have lights on at the moment. Oh, right, thank you. Sorry, I completely forgot we were not on the Claritin map. And yes, unlike the others, there is a defined manor resting atop a slight hill off on the western side of Claritin. Alrighty, yes. You get over there and you can easily identify the building, which looks to be for the owner. Would you like to head inside?
Believe so.
Alright. You will head inside, and within there is what looks to be a white-haired kitsune woman sitting back in a rocking chair.
Hello, I hope we're in the right place. We're looking to rent one of the cottages for at least one night, maybe more. Are we in the right spot for that?
Yes. Hello. You have the coin, of course.
Yeah.
Good. We have several people who have been attempting to take refuge without any money to pay. It is unfortunate that the people of this town are suffering, but I have to ensure these things first.
And how much are these rooms?
It is 4 gold an evening for as many as you wish to fit inside. If you wish to stay for a week, we can do so for 20 gold. It is somewhat expensive, but there is fireplace, there's individual rooms, and I shall provide breakfast come morning. If you wish to have a privacy, you may indulge yourselves as so.
I don't mind catching the first couple of nights.
I have a question.
Please, go ahead.
Hold on, let me read my thing. Do you like, plum liquor? Liqueur?
Oh. Well, I haven't had any in quite a long time. These old bones don't handle alcohol as they once did.
I mean, perhaps your tenants could appreciate it. It's one of those things, maybe you could have like a little bottle in each room, kind of like a, guest service that you have. Does that sound of interest to you?
If you wish to do so in lieu of payment, I would have to inspect its quality and amount.
I could get you like a jug's worth a day.
Well, ideally, I will not be needing to give out any more than that, but these are hard times. If you wish to do so, I could lower the price to 3 gold for you.
Yep, that sounds good for me. Everyone else? We're good?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Very well. She roots around for some keys and asks for the gold.
Let me catch this for everyone tonight.
Thank you.
And then obviously we'll pay up tomorrow if we stay another night.
Very well. I shall attempt to keep it open unless there are dire needs that come about. Anyway, let me guide you to your rooms then. She takes you out over to one of the cottages, just with a small lantern in hand. She sticks the key into the door, then blows out the lantern and does a deep bow before it. She opens the door, relights the lantern, and hands over the keys. I shall be coming around at about a short hour after sunrise or so.
Okay.
Have a pleasant evening. And then she heads off.
What was that about?
Do we have to do that? She's like standing at the threshold looking around.
Yeah, as she turned off the lantern, bowed to the room or to the lantern.
To the room.
And then opened the door, then relit the lantern.
Yes.
Is that a ritual that I have any knowledge of?
Give me knowledge religion. Or anyone else who wants to could roll me knowledge local. Nvidia, you don't know about that as any kind of specific ritual, but you all think back to your time in Anvisalia, and while you didn't directly deal with too many kitsune doing their weird things, it's common knowledge that kitsune have really strange rituals that they frequently do. It's kind of a mix of paranoia crossed with spiritualism.
Okay.
Sometimes it means things, other times it's just superstition.
Superstitiously, I'll cast Detect Magic just to make sure there's nothing else in the room.
You cast Detect Magic, and there is no magic present.
Okay. Cool.
So, are you going to enter into the place of outdoing exactly what she did, or are you just going to... or are you going to try and repeat it yourselves?
If the lady has walked off, Nvidia will just walk in.
Alright. Anybody else?
Then I'll just walk in.
I'll just walk in.
I mean, Tel doesn't have like a lantern, right?
We can't do the thing.
That is correct. You could do it with a torch, maybe? Or a candle? Who knows?
She'll do a little bow and that's it, and then she'll just walk in.
Alright. The door closes on its own. And you recognize it's just a strong breeze because it was wind.
Glad we didn't anger any spirits.
I'm sure you'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Nvidia just closes it behind Cattell, like with her tail. Okay. Let's have an evening, and then tomorrow maybe we go visit Lady Clarenbold, sorry.
Alrighty. Is there anything people want to discuss in the evening? You do have this little cottage all to yourselves for the time being.
It is nice not to be at risk of being overheard.
What do you mean, risk? Don't you know about this fancy ring?
True.
Before bed, Catella is going to grab that Tengu jug and make some plum liqueur.
Alrighty. Oh, goodness. I gotta make use of it somehow, you know? Beyond just letting Athos get himself drunk.
Sorry, Athos.
That's alright, I'll just have prayer to use to mine.
Good spell. Actually a useful spell, you'd be surprised.
Oh, definitely.
At the very least, Nvidia's going to draw a picture of some gnolls. Just to get it out of her system, I guess.
Alrighty. Give me knowledge local and then profession, artistry.
It's a maximum 10 anyway.
That's fine.
Ooh, that artistry was not good.
No.
That's
You-
2.
Yeah. You
I
start...
mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, you start drawing some pictures of gnolls, but you keep being distracted trying to remember what they look like good and proper. You know you've heard about them, you've seen things about them in images, but you haven't really dealt with anything directly, so the picture comes out kind of mimicking what you've seen before.
I like to believe I just get annoyed because I don't like them. So they just end up as caricatures as opposed to detailed
Yeah,
drawings.
their faces are too big, and they just have like even their teeth are too pointy. They just have like these evil smirks on them.
NVIDIA will finish it and then just be like, "Gnolls suck," and throw the drawing into the fire.
It burns nicely, just like
Just
gnoll fur.
Gnolls should. Goddamn slavers.
Alrighty. Well, if that is that, everyone gets a nice, peaceful evening inside this quaint little cottage. And I believe we will call it there for tonight,
Yeah.
just because we're around the regular time and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the shopping session. Yeah. Don't know if there's too much else to say, really. We might have been a bit slow today with everything, but it's fine. People were like just out of work and tired.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. Don't honestly, don't worry about it. Like, you got real life stuff. Real life stuff is important.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So, I will see everyone next week, and hopefully we're a little bit less busy that time.
Yes. Hopefully. But we'll see.
Yeah. Once again, no pressure or guilt. I just like to be hopeful. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
No.
Good night.
All right.